Àfínjú pẹ̀lú Ayọ̀dèjì Àríọ̀rí. Yes. Ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ ìkànnì yìí ẹ̀kú àmì tí gbà tàbójúbà ètò àrà ọ̀tọ̀ tó balẹ̀ pẹ̀pẹ̀ níkànnì yìí gbogbo ọjọ́ àlàmísì Thursday lẹ́ẹ̀mọ́ gbọ́tẹ́ tún mọ́ wò láàrin aago 5 sí 6 àrọ̀lẹ́ 5 to 6 p.m. àrà ọ̀tọ̀ ìpele méjì ló kónú òní nínú ìtàn nípele àkọ́kọ́ níbi lọ́kọ̀ Déjùmọ̀kẹ́ àti mọ́ já wa sáwọn ohun tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ rí láwọn ọjọ́ kọ̀ọ̀kan sẹ́yìn àrà nípele kejì níbẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀tì mọ́ gbọ́ ìtàn nípa àwọn tó ti ṣe dáadáa nínú ayé wọ́n ti kú ni àbá wà láàyè ó tún lè jẹ́ tàn lù torílẹ̀-èdè àbáwọn ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ sẹ́yìn ẹ pàdé dọjọ́ Thursday láago 5 sí 6 àrọ̀lẹ́ rédíò Àfínjú lẹ́ẹ̀tì mọ́ gbọ́ tẹ́sí mọ́ wò lórí gbogbo social media platforms lẹ́ẹ̀kan ṣoṣo Ayọ̀dèjì Àríọ̀rí ló lètò yìí tá a tún mọ́ forí pípé fọgbọ́n nú gbé kalẹ̀ fún wa tá a sì mọ́ jẹ̀gbádùn rẹ̀ lódìdí ìkéde àti polongo lórí ètò yìí ẹ pè tẹlifon 0813 407 5558 àrà ọ̀tọ̀ ètò yìí kò ṣeé ní ìsìn ní sáà mo gbé fún lódìdí.
ẹ bá mi pè é o. Àfínjú. Kí lorúkọ rẹ̀? Àfínjú. Rédíò. Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ Àfínjú. Lórí WhatsApp. Àfínjú. Instagram. Àfínjú. Facebook. Àfínjú. Lórí X. Àfínjú. Lórí YouTube. Àfínjú. Lórí TikTok. Àfínjú. Kí lorúkọ rẹ̀? Àfínjú. Ẹ bá mi pè é o. Àfínjú. Rédíò. Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ 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 Àfínjú. Rédíò Àfínjú. Rédíò Àfínjú. Rédíò Àfínjú.
ẹ̀yin tó mọ ìgbádùn tó kí fọ́fọ́ mìrì gidi kí gbẹ̀ngbẹ̀ ẹ máa bọ̀ láríyá Àfínjú. Àríyá Àfínjú lẹ́ẹ̀tì máa jẹ̀gbálálà àwọn ògbóǹtarìgì pédépédé tí wọn yóò máa fi ẹ̀fẹ̀ dàílùtì àwọn orin fújì àwúrèbe àpàlà jùjú àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ fún ìgbádùn yín. Àríyá Àfínjú láago 2 sáago 3 gbáko ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ìṣẹ́gun àtọjọ́bọ̀ ọ̀sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ ẹ má míìsì ẹ̀ nítorí pé live and direct gangan ni ó máa jẹ́ lórí àwọn àti ayélujára wa bíi Facebook àti YouTube. Àríyá Àfínjú ló wà fún ìgbádùn rẹ̀.
For an ultimate entertainment experience. An all-round gist with your spicy honey drops and Radio King Classic every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2 to 3 p.m. for a thrilling ride. Don't miss the fun, excitement, and updates on Àfínjú Arena only on Radio Àfínjú.
Apology for what you say, don't play.
Hey there, Super Kids! Are you ready for a ride of fun and learning? Get ready to blast off on Kiddies Arena with Aunty Pearl and crew on Radio Àfínjú every Saturday at 10 to 11 a.m. Listen to stories that will tickle your bones, games that will blow your mind, and music that will make you dance like no one's watching. There's also lots of surprises and gifts to be won. So gather your friends, turn up the volume, let's have fun and make awesome memories together on Kiddies Arena with Aunty Pearl and crew. Only on Radio Àfínjú. Yeah! Good morning, Ekara Ututoma Inakwana. How are you doing this lovely Saturday morning? I'm sure you already know that once it's 10 o'clock every Saturday like this, it is time for Kiddies Arena with Aunty Pearl
and crew, and I'm here. My name is Pearl. With me in the studio this morning, I have by my right
Sophia Abidemi Azen.
You guys need to see the way Sophia jumped. You need to see the way Sophia ran.
I can't afford to miss the show.
Right.
I'm prepared for the show.
She is ready. She came in bustling with energy. And right beside Sophia, I have
Mustafa Foladara Ewolua.
How are you doing, Ewa? How are you guys doing this morning? How's your week been so far?
Hectic. It's been a week, a very long
I
one.
can tell with the way you're running. Oh well, I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. For me, it's been on and off a little bit. I almost fell sick, something like that, because I'm currently on medication. So it's been a roller coaster. Easy. It's been a roller coaster of a lot of things, but here we are again Saturday morning, bringing you the energy, the fun, the learning. This morning, it is always so fully packed here on Kiddies Arena. So gather all the kids that you know, everybody, anything you're doing, and leave it, even if it's food that you're eating, just leave it for like 1 hour and join us on the show. Or you can still be enjoying your meal while you join us on the show this morning, so you don't miss out on anything. Also, if you're not already following us on social media, we are on Facebook, X, YouTube, all social media platforms at Radio Afinju. You can also stream our shows live on our website at www.afinjufm.com. This show is also currently streaming on our Facebook platform at Radio Afinju. Contribute to the conversation and also answer our riddle, and you stand a chance of winning data gift courtesy of Veracels Pay. Also, don't forget, Kiddies Arena is open for sponsorship. If you have kid-friendly goods and services that you would like to advertise on the show and reach hundreds and thousands of followers, then just reach out to the phone number displaying on your screen right now and get good value for your money. Good to have you here on the studio. Hello, Champe. Good morning. How are you doing? Good to have you joining me live here. So, what did we do last week? A quick rundown of what we did last week before we go deep into what we have for you this morning. Last week's storytelling. What was that about?
Last week's story, it was titled "The Magic Paintbrush."
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Well, we had the cliche moral with power comes great responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility, and also we talked about how to like think of others when we're also thinking of ourselves.
Yeah, especially when you're in a position to make a change.
Yes,
don't make it all about you. Think of your immediate environment and how you can change the lives of the ones around you. So that was the summary, the moral lesson from the story from last week. And we also did grammar.
Yes, grammar. It's been us continuing our common errors in English language. So we continued with that last week, even though we had some common errors that looked like, oh wow, last week. And it was really a fun aspect. If you have not seen that, please go and see it, because you would have to learn a lot.
Yep.
And we did under current affairs, we had Armed Forces Day. We talked about Armed Forces Day, the significance, the date, and how it is being celebrated in Nigeria. And word for the day for last week was propensity. That means an inclination or likelihood to act the way
in a certain way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was it for last week.
Okay, and in my segment, I did extracurricular activities children can learn, because learning doesn't stop with just being in the classroom. There are other fun, surprisingly fun, because most of the time when we hear extracurricular activity, we are thinking of lesson. It's not just about lesson. You've done a lot of learning in class. It's time to make it fun and even healthy for yourself, and because what this does is it boosts your creativity and self-dependency. You develop motor skills, you just develop other skills apart from doing well in your academics. And I mentioned performing arts, that's singing and dancing. I also talked about problem solving, arts and crafts, and a couple of that, but it didn't end there, because today I'm also going to be continuing with some extracurricular activities we as children can engage in to make the quality of our lives better. So that was for last week. Today, however, something different, of course, something different, something unique, something entertaining and fun packed. Again, if you're not already seated, now would be the time, because once we come back from this break, we're going straight into the storytelling segment of the day. And I wonder what today's story is all about. You don't want to miss it. So we'll go on a very short break now. And when we come back, it is time for storytelling.
From the creation story in Genesis to the promises of Revelation, the Bible is filled with stories that have inspired moments and transformed lives in so many ways. Discover how these ancient accounts still speak to us in this modern world. Let's explore the Bible together and uncover the treasures within.
So join me, Pearl Durotoye, as I delve into the rich tapestry of Bible stories every Sunday, 5 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. on Radio Afinju. God is love.
My dear, mo fẹ́ kọ́ máa tí mi wá máa gbé lọ́dọ̀ wa kó lè mọ ràn ọ́ lọ́wọ́.
Ràn mí lọ́wọ́ fún kí ni jàre?
Kó lè mọ ràn ọ́ lọ́wọ́ náà ni.
Tí mo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ gbéyàwó tán ní kọ́ máa tí ẹ̀ wá máa ràn mí lọ́wọ́, kó má wá o.
Yóò wá o.
A ní kò lè wá.
Yóò wá o.
A ní kò lè wá sẹ́.
Ẹ tí ì rí nǹkan kan. Ẹbí aláyọ̀ lètò tí yóò máa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú ìgbéyàwó, nínú ilé, nínú ẹbí, láàrin olólùfẹ́ méjì àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Àwọn ọ̀jìnmí tí ó máa túkọ̀ ètò náà ni Bùkọ́lá Ọláwùmí àti Àfíìsì Oyinmọmọ. Àárín aago 2 sí 3 ọ̀sán gbẹ̀rẹ́ ni. Ẹ wò ó. Ẹbí aláyọ̀ lẹbí wa.
My dear mi olólùfẹ́ mi. Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀mi náà ṣì ní kọ́ọ̀dù rẹ?
Èmi náà làdáptọ̀ rẹ̀.
Good to have you back. It's still Kiddies Arena with Aunty Pearl and crew here on Radio Afinju. And it's time for storytelling with Miss Foladara Ewa Oluwa. Over to you, Ewa.
All right, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
And to all of you that are just joining us, a quick heads up. Today, you are going to have to, your imagination is going to be very active. Okay, because today's story is about a tiny little seed named Timmy. So the title of today's story is The Tale of the Tiny Seed. The Tale of the Tiny Seed. Once upon a time, in a small village, there was a tiny seed named Timmy. Timmy lived in a cozy little pot with his best friend, a friendly worm named Wiggles. Timmy had big dreams. He wanted to grow into a tall, strong tree that would provide shade and shelter for all the animals in the village. But every time he tried to grow, he felt like giving up. The soil was hard, the sun was hot, and other plants seemed to be growing so much faster than he was. One day, a wise old tree named Oakley came to visit Timmy. Let's not ask how the tree can walk, but let's just keep
I mean, if the seed can have a name, anything can happen at this point.
Right. Oakley asked Timmy why he was so discouraged. Timmy explained how he felt like he was never going to grow into the tree he wanted to be. Oakley listened carefully and then shared a secret with Timmy. The key to growing strong and tall, Oakley said, is not to compare yourself with others, but to focus on your own growth. Every day, do a little better than you did the day before. Drink in the sunshine, soak up the rain, and dig deep in the soil. Timmy took Oakley's advice to heart. That's a very wonderful advice, by the way.
The key to growing strong.
But that's not even our moral for today. He stopped comparing himself to the other plants and focused on his own growth. He drank in the sunshine, soaked up in the rain, and dug deep into the soil. Slowly, but surely, Timmy began to grow. He sprouted new leaves, developed strong roots, and reached for the sky. The animals in the village began to notice Timmy's progress and cheered him on. As the seasons passed, Timmy grew into a tall, strong tree, just like he had always dreamed. He provided shade and shelter for all the animals in the village, and they lived happily ever after. We love a happy ending, don't we?
Yes.
The moral of the story is that growth and progress come from focusing on your own efforts and doing a little bit better every day.
Every day.
Don't compare yourself to others. Instead, celebrate your own unique strength and talents.
Yeah.
That's an advice that I will keep to heart from
Yes,
Oakley
me
the
as
tree.
well.
The tree. I think I was in this kind of situation last year, and I was comparing myself with other people, and at some point I had some discussion with some people, and they feel like you don't know the grace you have within you, and I'm like, okay, and me realizing the fact that okay, we are different, but comparison shouldn't actually work because our time to achieve a lot is different. So we can just work on our individual part and even be more better than those people we're comparing ourselves to.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Sophia. Because I feel like I've also been in a place like that before, where I'll see my mates that are doing better. I'll be like, but my dad will tell me that their own pace is different. Your pace is different. They are going where they are going. Your destination is different from theirs.
Yeah.
So, this advice is something I want everybody to take to heart. Your pace is different from everybody's, your mate's own. So.
And you know what's even funny? As you're comparing yourself to those people, they are also comparing themselves with other aspects of you that you don't even know you're doing great at. You might just focus on I think we've also told a similar story that talks about focusing on the negative while ignoring the positive that is going on in your life. Because you're busy saying, oh, I've not done this, I've not done that. But the things you've actually done, they are comparing themselves to those things that I've not done this thing Ewa has done, or this thing Sophia has done, and you are comparing yourself. And so there's a lot of comparison, and in doing that, you guys forget to focus on the present, on your own growth, because you're thinking about what you should have done at so and so time, at the same time forgetting that it's completely different for everyone. Just because you are classmates, course-mates, same age, whatever, it doesn't matter. Your beginnings are different. You're not from the same village, number one. You're not from the same family. You didn't live in the same house. And even for people who are brought up under same circumstances, it is always different. Because there is a Yoruba adage, Odogba, all fingers are not equal. Yep. So even for siblings, it's different for everybody. So why not just focus on your own self, put in the work, like Oakley said in the story. I mean, even if Timmy focuses on his own self and does nothing, it still wouldn't grow. It still wouldn't grow. So even if you say, okay, I don't want to compare myself with anybody, and you just stay there, do nothing, you're still not going to improve. You're still not going to grow. Because at the end of the day, the goal is that you are better today than you were yesterday. It doesn't matter if the increase is 0.000001 or 1% or 0.00, as long as there is a difference between yesterday and today, then you're doing so well. You know what they say now, slow and steady wins the race. It's not about how fast you get there, as long as you do get there at your own time. I don't know if we know the story of a KFC that almost everyone eats today. I think that was established when he was 70 years old or thereabout. He was very old. But today, around the world, everybody knows KFC. So I can imagine him at 30 thinking, oh, my mates at 30, they've done this, they've done so and so businessy, they've achieved so and so. Forgetting that each person's destination, each person's journey is different. And I'm happy for Timmy in the story because at the end of the day, he realized this and he puts in the work, and Lord help him, he grew into a very beautiful tree that provided shade for everybody. So that's a fantastic story, Ewalua. Thank you for that. Good morning on Facebook. Good morning to Rocky Foods Ologi. She's saying good morning, my people. Good morning to you as well. Thank you for joining us this morning. All right, so that's that for storytelling. I'm sure you enjoyed that. We're going into our grammar segment, another exciting segment on the show, and that's by Sophia Abidemi Hassan. Over to you, Sophia.
Thank you and good morning once again. Well, that's a beautiful story. I love the morale. So this morning we are not really done with common errors, but we are just putting it aside for a little while.
Yeah, a break in transmission.
So this morning, let's talk about vocabulary. Let's talk about some common linking words, linking chains in our sentences, and how we can use them. So this morning we're talking about antonyms, synonyms, and homophones. Antonyms, synonyms, and homophones. I think antonyms and synonyms, we are actually quite used to it while we use our word for the day, and we have the antonyms and synonyms. So this morning, let's talk about it as our grammar this morning. So antonyms are words that have opposite meanings. Antonyms are words that have opposite meanings. They are used to contrast ideas, emotions, or actions, and help to create a more nuanced and accurate understanding of the world around us. So antonyms are words that have opposite meanings. I don't know how to break opposites down again, but
contrast.
But that's more complex than opposites, though.
Well, I think opposite is like the simplest.
Yeah, it's the simplest. So antonyms are words that have opposite meanings, and we have words like ought and I want this to be interactive, so it's going to be me and Hewa.
Okay. Please include me in the interaction.
We have ought, and your antonyms is cold. Since we're talking about the opposites, we have big, small, happy,
sad,
true,
unhappy.
Yeah,
that's also
that's it as well. True,
false,
alive,
dead,
chaos.
What? Chaos.
Yes.
Peace. Chaos.
Order. Yeah.
Order.
Yeah, that could be order as well. We have a lot. We have stillness, movement. We have darkness, light, ignorance, knowledge. You have poverty, wealth. We have weakness, strength, fear, courage,
bravery.
That's it again. Okay. We can have different antonyms for a single word. Yes. So that's all about antonyms. So antonyms are words that have opposite meanings. So let's talk about synonyms. Synonyms are words that have the same or similar meanings. They are used to add variety and interest to language, and help to avoid repetition and create a more engaging and dynamic tone. Synonyms can be classified into two types, but let me take that again. Synonyms are words that have the same or similar meanings. Probably you don't want to start repeating the same word over and over again, so you want to look for the similar word that could actually help express whatever we are trying to portray using that single word. So that's synonyms. Synonyms are words that are our main word, or they are very similar, or they might even have the same meaning. So synonyms can be classified into two types. We have exact synonyms. These are words that have exactly the same meaning. They are not changing. It's only the words that are changing, but they have exactly the same meaning. Such as big. When we say something is big, you can say it's also large. It's the same thing. When we have happy, you can say joyful as well. Happy and joyful is the same thing. And we also have what we call near synonyms. These are words that have similar but not exactly the same meaning. We can use them together, but they don't actually mean the same, but they have something like we can use together. They have similar meaning, such as big and enormous. Enormous cannot give the root of nation of big, but it's actually portraying the fact that we are trying to say something is large as well. And we have happy and cheerful. Cheerful would not really translate much to happy in some context and some sentences. So that's what we're trying to say. Next, synonyms. These are words that have similar but not exactly the same meaning. And we have examples of synonyms. You have happy. Give me another synonyms for happy.
Just said joyful.
That's
excited.
That's another one. Big. We can have large. We can have enormous as well. Run. We can have sprint, and we can also have dash to replace run in our sentence instead of saying run. So we have beautiful. We can use gorgeous. We can use stunning. We have delicious. We can use something like tasty. Instead of saying the food is delicious, say the food is
yummy.
Yeah, that's another one. So okay, say the food is tasty. The food is savory. The food is flavorful. The food is appetizing. We have a lot of words with with a lot of synonyms. So that's all for synonyms. Synonyms are words that have the same or similar meanings, while antonyms are words that have opposite meanings. So let's talk about homophones. I think I love homophones the best.
I do as well.
So homophones are words that are pronounced the same but have different meanings. They are pronounced the same but have different meanings. And we have some homophones that are spelled the same but different pronunciation and different meanings. So homophone is very fun to learn. They can be confusing as they are sometimes pronounced the same but have different meanings and require careful attention to context and spelling to ensure accurate understanding. Homophones can be classified into two types. We have homographs and homophonic homographs. Homographs and homophonic homographs. So homographs, these are words that are spelled the same but have different meanings. They are spelled the same but have different meaning. So I'm going to spell I'm going to spell a word.
Okay.
B-O-W. So pronounce V-O-W.
V-O-W.
Bo.
Va.
It can also
wait, hold on. No. V or B?
B.
Okay.
Bow.
Bow.
I said bow.
Bow.
It can be the same thing. So homographs is telling us that these are words that are spelled the same but have different meaning. So you have B-O-W, can mean bow. That one we have on our head that we tie as fashion accessory. And B-O-W can also mean bow.
Okay.
So that's homophone. We have another one. We have C-O-N-T-E-N-T.
C-O-N-T.
Content.
Content.
So that's homophone. That's homographs. That's homograph. And we have homophonic homographs. These are words that are spelled and pronounced the same but have different meanings. They are spelled and
pronounced the
same but have different meanings. We can have S-P-R-I-N-G, spring. It could mean a season of the year.
Okay.
And it could also mean a coiled metal object that stores energy.
Yeah.
Another one is L-I-G-H-T. That's light. It could mean this one up here, the one illuminating, giving us the ability to see very clearly. And it could also mean that something is not heavy.
Yeah.
So that's light. We have saw, S-A-W. It could mean the past tense of see. And could mean a tool for cutting. And we have a lot. We have TO2, TO2, and TW2 again. TO, that's to in the direction of something.
Yeah.
That's I'm going to the stop. That's another one. And TOO2, that's also. And we also have TWO, 2, the number 2. So we have some homophones that they are pronounced the same way. They can have different spellings, and some can have the same spellings, but they also pronounce the same way. So it is for us to know the context and the content we are having them in to know what they actually mean. And that is all for homophones this morning. Homophones, synonyms, and antonyms. And that's all for grammar this morning.
Okay, thank you. You see, I kind of understand when people say English is difficult because it is, and it's very, very confusing. It takes a lot of, although I can say the same for most languages, or some, even Yoruba as well. In fact, in Yoruba you can have a word having several meanings depending on the intonation, and how it's confusing. But you say English takes the cake because it is difficult. So kudos to every English scholar out there. You're doing a very fantastic job. But I hope that this morning we've learned something about synonyms, antonyms, and homophones. Don't worry, it's always a learning. I don't expect, I'm not expecting you to get it right the top of the bat right now, but with constant studying, you can still check on the internet to have more examples of synonyms, antonyms, homophones, and the like, so you can understand it better. So thank you, Sophia, for that. We'll go on a very short break now, and when we come back, it is time for current affairs. How well do you know your country? We're going to do that once we come back from this break.
You can drive your toothbrush
take that as my reminder. I want to say daily reminder, but Saturday reminder to go and brush your teeth. Yes, you listening to me right now, I'm sure a lot of you have not brushed your teeth this morning. You woke up, you've eaten this morning, but you've not brushed. That's my reminder. Every Saturday, if I come on this show, I'm going to play that song so you can be reminded, because it's almost noon. You've not brushed your teeth. Why? And you have eaten. You took the germs from yesterday, because I'm sure some of you did not even brush before you slept. So you carried over the germ and bacteria and everything in your mouth, in your teeth from last night. Then this morning you then ate again and even used water to wash it down your guts. Brilliant. Very good. Okay, so it's time for current affairs with Sophia. It's over to you.
You're welcome once again. I don't want to repeat good morning. but
it's not a good morning count on the show. Every time we say good morning.
You're welcome once again, and this is current affairs. Today we are talking about West Africa, because we're talking about ECOWAS. So what do you know about ECOWAS? I really do not used to know much, but today we're going to learn together. So ECOWAS stands for Economic Community of West African States. Economic Community of West African States. It is a group of 15 countries in West Africa that work together to improve the lives of their citizens. These countries are Benin, Burkina Faso, Cape Verde, Cote d'Ivoire, the Gambia, Ghana, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Mali, Niger, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Senegal, and Togo. ECOWAS was formed on May 28, 1975. Well, I don't want to ask you about
May 28,
1975. With the signing of the Treaty of Lagos. The treaty aimed to promote economic integration and collective self-reliance among the member states. Before ECOWAS was formed, West African countries had a long history of trade and cultural exchange. In the pre-colonial era, West Africans were one of the most mobile populations in the world. They traveled extensively throughout the region, exchanging goods and ideas. When European colonizers arrived, they disrupted the system and imposed their own borders and trade rules. After independence, West African countries realized that they need to work together to achieve economic development and stability. This led to the formation of ECOWAS, which was established to promote economic integration, trade, and cooperation among its member states. ECOWAS has several institutions that work together to achieve its goals. The Authority of Heads of States and Government is the highest decision-making body, composed of the presidents and prime ministers of the member states. The chairman of the authority is appointed by other heads of states and governments and serves for a year. The current chairman of ECOWAS is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. ECOWAS has made significant progress in achieving its goals. The organization has established a common external tariff, which has reduced trade barriers and increased trade among member states. ECOWAS has also established a regional peacekeeping force, which has helped to maintain peace and stability in the region. The organization has also made significant progress in developing its infrastructure, including the construction of major highways and bridges. Furthermore, ECOWAS has implemented several programs to promote social and economic development, such as the ECOWAS Agricultural Policy and the ECOWAS Health Policy. Some of the notable achievements of ECOWAS include the creation of a single market and customs union, which has increased trade among member states, the establishment of a regional peacekeeping force, which has helped to maintain peace and stability in region, and lots more. Despite its achievements, ECOWAS still faces several challenges. One of the major challenges is the lack of economic diversification among member states. That means they are relying on one particular sector to power their own country. Like Nigeria, now we can say we are relying on crude oil to gain probably revenues to power and country, and also in Ghana they rely on mining. So we're saying ECOWAS, probably the member states are actually focusing on one sector to power their country rather, instead of diversifying the economic in so many ways as well. And we hope the governments can do better so we can have a more enhanced economic stability. So which makes them vulnerable to fluctuations in global commodity prices. Another challenge is the poor state of infrastructure in the region, which hinders trade and economic development. ECOWAS also faces security challenges, including terrorism and piracy, which threaten the stability of the region. Additionally, the organization faces institutional challenges, including the to strengthen its institutions and improve its decision-making processes. In conclusion, ECOWAS is an important regional organization that plays a critical role in promoting economic integration and cooperation among its member states. The organization has made significant progress in achieving its goals, but still faces several challenges. With its strong leadership and commitment to regional integration, ECOWAS is well positioned to address these challenges and continue to promote economic development and stability in the region. As a regional organization, ECOWAS has the potential to make a significant impact on the lives of its citizens. So ECOWAS has been doing a lot since 1975. That's a lot of time. But they're still facing some little challenges, so we can all do better in making it.
I mean, I think it's the
beautiful.
same for any coalition. There's no way, because when you mention diversity, it means despite the union, there are still individual needs of each person, and at the end of the day, I don't think all of that can be met, but they can only try their best, because it's more like you have a group of people coming together for the better good, for them to achieve something that will be of advantage to the group as a whole. Because when they came together, I think, okay, how can we improve these West African states? How can we improve ourselves, both as a group and individually? What are the challenges we are facing? But you would agree with me that despite the challenges that they're having, the advantages of that union still outweighs the disadvantages, because they come through for each other in times of need. So ECOWAS is very good. It's very important. It just goes to prove that but I say no country is an island of, I want to say no man is an island of knowledge. Well, you see, it goes to show the importance of, I want to say, community, because it makes one look out for each other. When you know that you're a part of a larger something, or you're a member of a larger group, you have this sense of responsibility, not only to yourself, but to the group as a whole. So thank you so much for that segment. I'm sure the audience have learned something about ECOWAS this morning. So without wasting much of our time, we still have the word of the day, and I wonder what that is.
Our word of the day is spelled METICULOUS.
Come again?
METICULOUS.
Okay.
And it's pronounced meticulous. And meticulous means being very careful and paying close attention to details. Being very careful and paying close attention to details. And we have the synonyms, words that we can use, similar words that we can use instead of meticulous. We have careful, we have precise, we have thorough, we have detailed, we have exact, and we have lots and lots. Speaking about the antonyms, what opposites in meaning to meticulous, we have careless, we have sloppy, we have lazy, we have messy, and we have hasty. That's you're always in a hurry, you're not even paying attention, you're not even being careful enough. And we have, let's have an example of that in a sentence. We have, Emma was meticulous when she was building a Lego castle, making sure every brick was in the right place. And that is all for word of the day and current affairs again this morning.
Okay, thank you so much, Sophia. Meticulous, add that to your notes or to your jotter or to your writing material, so you know how to infuse it when you are speaking now. Meticulous is the word of the day. So we are going straight into our third segment, which is safety/healthy living, wellness, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of a lot of things intertwined into one. That's why sometimes I'm confused as to what to call it because it is a very extra segment that incorporates a lot of things that spans different categories. So depending on what I have for you for that day, I can call it, and it can be in health, it can be in safety, it can be in general well-being or social well-being, whatever.
I wouldn't mind it being in wealthy either.
Wealth, right? How to make money. I mean, for children, I don't think that should be a priority now.
Just say mommy, daddy, please.
Right? So there are other aspects you have to build before you even start thinking of how to make money. You're still too young. Don't worry. You have time. You have time. Okay, so last week I started with extracurricular activities children can learn, and I treated arts and crafts and performing arts. Now, why this is important, it helps, like I mentioned earlier, it helps you to build social interaction, help you to develop skills, your creativity that's outside of the classroom settings. Other aspect, you will be surprised at what you can do. I'm telling you, you will be surprised at what you can do. I know what's even more interesting is that we learn things easier, faster when we are kids. That's why when you watch all these Children Got Talent shows or events, you will be wondering, oh, this child, how can this child? They started really, really young. And that's because as you're young, as you're growing, your brain is also developing. So there are lots of, I'm sure even as adults, we still have certain core memories of when we were children. I'm sure I can remember events as far back as when I was still 2-3 years old. I can. So when you are young, your brain grasps things easier. And when you do that as you grow, it becomes a part of you. So I did arts and crafts, performing arts last week. I think I mentioned, I think I did sports as well. Yeah, I think I did sports, but I'm just going to go through that.
Well, I mentioned
just
volleyball and
yeah, okay. I mentioned
well.
Swimming, where I said I was going to learn swimming. Yes, I think I did. I mentioned I also did football as well. Okay, so in sports, football, basketball, volleyball, track and field, that's running. I'm not a very good runner. I wonder why. Then martial arts. I mentioned martial arts last week as well, which is good for self-discipline, strength, self-defense, and all of that. It's important that as children, we know how to defend ourselves when we find ourselves in difficult situations. There's also table tennis and badminton. This improves your reflexes because table tennis is a game of reflexes. You have to be like really, really fast. You have to be really, really, really fast. And also it improves hand to eye coordination as well. So that's for sports. Next category of extracurricular activities children can learn, we have in the academic segment, we have I know I mentioned that we are leaving the classroom, but there are still other academic things you can do that is away from the traditional classroom setting that we know. I'm talking reading clubs, book clubs. I'm sure you've heard of book clubs, and in book clubs, you just, it's funner when you do these things as a group, because in book clubs, you and a group of friends, you can just form a book club, and then you pick a book for the month that you want to read. And when you read the book, at the end of the month, you come together and you talk about that book. You discuss that book. Okay, what was this book about? What's the summary? What have we learned? What can we pick up from the book? And what this does as well, it helps you have a sense of responsibility when you know that, okay, at the end of the day or at the end of the month, you're going to meet up with your friends and you're going to talk about something. You definitely want to have something to talk about. So we have a book club, math club, science club. I was a part of a JET. Was it JET club? Yeah, JET club. What was the JET for? Junior Engineer Technician. Exactly. Junior Engineers, Technicians. Sophia, that's why you smiling.
I'm just so impressed. Okay. You did football. You did what she did theater art, I think so.
Yes, I did. I learned music as well.
She learned music.
I learned music. I learned instruments. I did theater arts. I do bead making. Okay, I used to draw as well.
We have a talented.
Don't worry. Okay, so I was a member of a JETS club, junior engineers, technicians, and scientists. It was mainly for science students, though. So I was a part of that. And also there is a chess. You can join a chess club. Chess is very important. It stimulates your senses. It makes you have critical thinking. You think, well, I'm sure you see that there's this chess in slums thing going on, but mostly in Lagos anyway. So you can join your local chess club or board games as well. They do the same thing, critical thinking. There is debating and public speaking. Now, I want to talk about this public speaking, especially for parents listening to me. I think it is important you engage your children in public speaking because it helps them to develop this confidence, especially when they have to appear in front of a crowd, because whether you like it or not, at some point in your academic pursuit you have to step up on stage. You have to defend your project, your seminar, you have to do a presentation, and what helped me, because I had an event while I was in the university, I had to do a GS presentation, and I'm telling you, I'm not even kidding, any of my classmates listening to this can attest to it. I had a standing ovation when I did my GS presentation. I had a standing, now it wasn't just because if you know with GNS, it's not usually just one class, it's different departments coming together to take an English course. I had a standing ovation after my GS presentation. It was that good. Now, how did it get that good? It started from me doing debating in my primary secondary school. I was a part of the debate team. Good morning, panel of judges, co-debaters, yes, I was a part. It didn't matter whether what we're doing then, maybe it was the proper way. It didn't matter. What matters is that I could get up there and talk to my mates. If you can talk to your mates, you can talk to anybody. You can stand in front of the president tomorrow and give a presentation. You can stand in front of your colleagues, big corporations, and do a presentation. You can have a TEDx talk tomorrow, and you will not be shy. You will not feel intimidated. That is what it does when you start young. Quickly, there's also cultural and social development. I'm talking language learning. There's also community service, leadership, and mentoring programs. Also, volunteering. Volunteering is important. Catch them young. It's good to start afresh. Contribute to your community. There are also entrepreneurship and life skills. I'm talking baking, cooking, and all of that. You can enroll in a baking school, cooking school. You know, all those small skills. It starts by you start from learning it for yourself, but as you grow up, you start to find out that okay, you can actually make money from this thing. There's photography, there's graphic design, there is just so much that you can learn. So quickly, how can you choose the right activity? How do you know what's good for you? Number one, you have to be interested in it, so you don't waste your time. It has to be something you're interested in, because the more interested you are, the more you can learn fast. When you do something you're interested in, you learn faster. I don't know if you guys can agree with me.
Yes.
When you're doing something that you have interest in, whatever it is they're teaching you, it just sticks into your brain. So if it's someone that loves solving puzzles, you can say, okay, chess club, since you like solving puzzles, you like solving problems, why not join a chess club? Why not do board or whatever? Then our skills development, if you find out that okay, there's a segment where you need growth or where you need to improve, just find the skill or the extracurricular activity that fits into that segment. If you're trying to keep fit, you can go into sports, right? So if you're trying to move around a little, you're trying to keep fit, you want to strengthen yourself, your muscles, your bones, you can just go into sports. And also learn to balance these extracurricular activities with your academic obligations to avoid overwhelming yourself. Don't say because you're doing extracurricular activities, no time for your assignments, no time for your book. Just learn to balance these things, and while you're doing them, learn to rest as well. Don't worry, you might be thinking 24 hours is too small. It is not small. If you learn to balance if you learn to balance everything, you don't have to do everything. You can just pick 1, 2, or 3 and you do each of them maybe once a week, and with that you're good to go. So that's where I'm going to draw the curtain on extracurricular activities for this week. Without wasting much of our time, we should drop a riddle for our audience. Yes, we should drop a riddle. There was no winner from last week.
I'm kind of disappointed.
I am
honestly.
as well. There was no winner from last week, but hopefully we get a winner this week that's going to win our data gift courtesy of Veracious Space. So
I could be the winner.
No, you're not calling.
You're tempting me, but I will not fall for that temptation. So, what's our riddle for today? Quickly.
Our riddle for today. I have a face and 2 hands, but I am not human. I have a face and 2 hands, but I am not human. What am I?
You? That's a very. I have a face and 2. Okay. Okay. I think I know the answer already. Just do some little bit of critical thinking. At first, it was seeming, what can this be? But now it has occurred to me.
Well, let's leave that to the audience.
Right? We'll leave that to the audience. I have a face and 2 hands, but I am not human. What am I? First answer, data gift from Veracious Space. So thank you so much for joining us on the show this morning. It was good to have you. It was fun as usual, and I had a swell time. I'm sure the ladies did as well.
Yes.
So Esteem Temtai on Facebook is saying good morning. Good morning to you, Esteem. Thank you for joining us